Good evening. Public budget hearing for the Forest Grove School District is called to order in accordance with ORS 294.430. This opportunity is for public comment regarding the 23-24 budget approved by the Budget Committee and referred to the school board for adoption. In accordance with district policy, public criticism or complaints about district personnel is not allowed. Five minutes. Okay, so this concludes the budget hearing and public testimony regarding the 2023-2024 Forest Grove School District budget. Now, the budget hearing is adjourned at 5:35 p.m. So now we'll call to order the June 12, 2023 Forest Grove School District Board of Directors meeting. And we'll call that to order at 5:35. Roll call of board members present. Mark Everett. Brad Carroll.
Caitlin Dusty. Martha Robbie.
Miley Burnley.
Okay. Thank you. It will rise for the flag salute. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America. To the republic. Okay. The audience and staff.
John O'Neill, Assistant Superintendent. John Word, Forest Grove High School, mechatronics teacher and FTA rep.
Beverly Cornelius, grandma.
Enrique Pinion, Technology Department. David Warner, Communications. Mark Hughes, Facilities.
Eileen Klug, business. Cynthia Shield, business.
Nate Pratt, student.
Christy Heiden, community member.
Bob Seward, observer.
My dad. My dad.
Okay. Welcome, everybody. Yeah, welcome. Okay, let's see, I think, you have a student representative report for you?
Sure.
Okay,
Okay, well, this weekend the 2023 class graduated, so everything went well. Yeah. Everything went well, no pulled any funny stunts or anything at graduation, so that was good. Other than that, this week's our last, or not my last week, I guess, their last week of school. So they have lots of tests coming up and stuff like that. Also, sorry, my voice is very bad today. And then, all I can think about is basically in like ASB right now, they're just planning for next year. One of our last days, they're just planning, meeting with our new groups and getting to know each other. I think that's about it that I can think of, so, yeah. There's my last meeting today, so.
so this is your last meeting, and I have to say, and other board members are gonna have comment probably, but we have loved having you on, as a student representative. It's really been for the better part of 2 terms, really. And, I remember that you were zooming in from
Yeah.
your home
Online.
initially. And
Yes.
so, you've done an outstanding job, and congratulations on graduating. And, I'm just curious your plans, maybe.
Oh, yeah, totally. So I'm going to Arizona State next year, their honors college. And I'm gonna study medical studies and hopefully pursue a medical degree. And then go on to med school, so, yeah. And thank you so much for all having me. You guys were so great and so nice. Thank you so much. Yeah.
Well, thank you very much.
But, oh, sorry, thank you. Someone reminded me. Well, so for next year, you guys have Nate Pratt, he's over here, he's gonna be a senior next year. I don't know anything else you want me to say? I can't remember. Okay, yeah, he's gonna be your new student rep for next year, so super sweet of him. He's a really good guy, so you guys will have fun. Yeah, it'll be good.
Yeah, and I just wanted to say, Miley, you, again, just repeating those words, that you did a great job representing the students' point of view and making sure that that was coming forward. Also, Nate worked really closely with our strategic planning group, our students supervisory, advisory,
Yeah.
superintendent, student advisor.
Yes, yeah.
At the high school, and has done a really nice job of being a local advocate for students. And so I know Nate's going to do a great job, and look forward to working.
Yeah, for sure.
Great.
Well, thank you.
Mr. Parker, correspondence calendar with you.
Yeah, a couple of weeks ago, we had the jazz band open up our session, which was really fun. And then some period of time after that, I got contacted by Senator Solomon, and she wanted the mariachi to come down and open the Senate session on June 1st, I think it was. And so we have the video of it. It's not too long, but I thought it was, again, we opened with the jazz band a little while ago. I thought we would open with a little more music. So with that, I'm gonna have Enrique start this.
group, I'm assuming you're gonna do an introduction. Yes, okay. Mariachi Tradicion Group, instructed by Leslie Nunez. Welcome.
Bueno, muchachos, y vámonos hasta Veracruz, sí, señor. Mamá, una punta de gracia, una punta de ternura, y allá arriba y arriba, allá arriba y arriba, yo no puedo ser, ni lo sé, ni lo sé, ni lo sé. Como la palmita que va, que viene y va, que viene y va.
Senator Solomon gives a little speech.
Wonderful.
I think we can.
I have a feeling I'm going to recognize Senator Solomon. Senator Solomon.
Colleagues, I rise today to give
She gives a very nice speech. I'm just talking a little bit about the club, and one of the spectacular things about our mariachi is many of the contests that they're entering in, they're playing against professional mariachi bands. And it was funny because of us. One of the folks talked to one of the mariachi players and said, well, we don't usually win them. And it's like, but you're competing against professionals. And so it was really cute that was her take, well, we don't really win them, but actually they're spectacular. And again, they played in some of our bond stuff, and just again, really excited to see where the music program is going. Second thing I wanted to do today with my comments is, as we enter our second year of Amplify, we're gathering information about what we're doing or how we're doing. We've kind of got scores starting to come in. Lane is going to present to you on the 26th with some data, but also some of the stories. And like it's the scores are definitely important. And I can tell you right now, we're going to show growth. Probably not as much growth as we'd like to show, but we're going to show growth. But some of the things we're doing now over the last 2 weeks, I've been out in classrooms and you know, the first thing I ask K-6 teachers is, well, how is Amplify going? Normally with the literacy adoption, they're chaotic and their teachers are changing practice. Teachers are kind of maybe not as happy as they might be. I've yet to find it, and I'm sure there are teachers who are still struggling with the implementation, but everybody I'm talking to right now, I've yet to talk to a single person who doesn't like the adoption. I received a correspondence, our team kind of received a correspondence. I wanted to read it to you because I think it's a good story. I think it speaks a little bit about where many of our teachers are at right now. This is from Della Emmerich. She's our kindergarten teacher at Hardy Clark. And she said, and I asked her permission. She said, well, she was fine reading it. It says, "Team, I've spoken with all of you regarding our district's need for science-based curriculum and reading. Yes, I was on the team to pick Amplify. I believe that it could change our outcomes for our children. I truly have no idea just how significant these outcomes would be. I've never capitalized, never seen such growth in reading as I have this year. Every child in my room decodes words. Now, there are still some children who are struggling, but they can still decode. The end of the year reading assessment is more challenging than any of I've ever given, and my kids can read it fluently. I have children who came in far below, knowing no letters or sounds, who are now at grade level. This is not just about the happiest place on earth, what she calls her kindergarten, but rather the system that we collectively put in place. It's going to be an amazing new history for Forest Grove School District. Talk about a portrait of a graduate. Here they are in kindergarten. Thank you for believing in the science, supporting us teachers in this new way of teaching. I love it. Capitalize. And the faces of the children who are reading really says it all. If you want a little sunshine, come and have a child read to you. Happy Monday, Della. So again, I think the stories are important. You know, as I think about my last comment for the day was really to talk a little bit about graduation, because of, you know, a lot of times it's important for us to be focused on scores and focused on some of the data that tells us whether or not our system is doing well. But sometimes we lose track of some of the other things. Like, I could give an assessment and I give it to two students. One of them scores at 10% and one of them scores at 90%. And when I calculate the average for that, it's 50%. But that 50% does not represent either of those two students. And I just want to bring that back, because as I sat at the spotlight on success and then at the graduation this weekend, seeing 105 graduates with honors diplomas, it's just striking. That's 25% of that class was doing something extraordinary. And we definitely still have lots of kids who are still behind and not where we want them to be after the pandemic. But I think it's also just important to remind ourselves of some of the successes and some of the great things we saw. I'm also, the kids behaved so well on Saturday. I was just, you know, I've been through 33 years of graduations, so I've seen a lot of different, I just can't tell you how good the Forest Grove students are compared to many of the others I've been through. So let me check my notes, but I think that was kind of my thoughts for the day. We have Thursday is the last day of school for K-6, there'll be a half day. And then Friday is a half day for 7-12. And the thing I like most about education, as every other job, is that we get to reset. Everything that we might have made a mistake this year, next year we can do it better. And so we're getting to that place where we're going to start that whole process all over again. And with that, I think I'm out of words.
Question. When we have the presentation, the next meeting about the reading adoption, I think he mentioned that he got 100% hard required. Can they come and talk and share how they did it?
Well, one of them was Della.
Oh,
But I also need to tell you, did not hear those statistics correctly.
Oh, okay.
So Elena is coming and she's going to be bringing kind of some data and also some stories. And I'll ask her to see if we can also bring in some of the practitioners. Again, there's, like I said, I'm out talking to folks. I was out talking to folks at Tom McCall, and what they were talking about was using this curriculum, kids are writing in a way that they have not seen in a long, long time. And this curriculum also builds on itself, which is second graders who become better decoders, become better comprehenders as third graders. And so this curriculum over time also is going to build on itself. So, but I will let her know that wish, and we'll see what we can figure out.
Across the district, because it's pretty phenomenal. One other comment is, I'm really pleased to see how many administrators have signed up to letters. I'm really pleased to see that.
So I sat in a meeting today because of, it's a different letter. It's a letter for administrators.
Yeah.
So they'll focus on the letters part, but it'll also be how do you run a system? Correctly. So both, I mean, we have several of our administrators, I know I've signed up for it. I know that Arturo has also signed up for it. So we're going to expect our administrators to do it. And I'm expecting myself to.
Well, I'm really pleased.
Yeah.
Thank you.
We need to approve the agenda. Let's get that part.
Okay. So, approval, nice agenda, yeah.
I move to approve the next agenda.
Second.
Moved and seconded, yes for me?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. I have to talk, okay. The consent agenda is made up of routine, non-controversial items to be voted on in one motion. Are there any items within the consent items the board member with the superintendent wishes to discuss separately? Okay. Make a motion that we approve the consent agenda.
Second.
Second, so. Yes, for me,
Yes.
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 okay. Thank you. And now, the oath of office, there are two, one new board member, one returning board member, Christy Kotsky and Kate. If you could maybe go in this area here. So I gave you guys a copy of what I'm going to read. So I think we're supposed to do the oath. I'll read it. You can read after me and we'll get this. So. Sure.
He's school board walking, board outfit.
Yeah. Yeah, okay, all right. Yeah, okay, all right,
Do you want to bring them up to the microphone so they can speak into the microphone?
okay. Yeah. Okay. All right, here we go. I do solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States of America
I do solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States of America
and the Constitution and laws of the state of Oregon
and the Constitution and laws of the state of Oregon
and the policies of the Forest Grove School District.
and the policies of the Forest Grove School District.
During my term, I will faithfully and impartially discharge the responsibilities of the office of board member to the best of my ability.
During my term, I will faithfully and impartially discharge the responsibilities of the office of board member to the best of my ability.
So the terms are July 1, 2023 to June 30th, 2027. And Kate Grandeski is position 4 and Chris Key is position 5. So welcome, Chris.
You have time to make a speech.
Yeah.
Oh. Don't start this meeting, no. I will say briefly that I am taking a spot of someone that has really been an unofficial mentor to me and being a voice for the community in so many different aspects. And I actually received a call already today from a member of the Latina community wanting me to pass some information forward because she felt like that was a safer space to do so. So I feel like I will hopefully Narce learn from some of your great mentorship and carry that responsibility. And just so appreciative of what you've done for the board. And I know you'll do your own things, but because I'm specifically taking that spot, it's
And likewise, I've also learned a lot from you, and thank you for the opportunity to work together as community members the last couple of years. I really appreciate you, and I know very good.
Thank you. Okay, number of action items this evening. The first is 2023-2024 budget adoption. And Eileen Clute, Director of Finance, is
We'd like to have for you the approved budget as approved by the budget committee in May. There's 3 separate action items, one for the making the appropriations, one for adopting the budget, making the appropriations, imposing the tax, and then categorizing the tax. So 3 separate actions.
thanks. So I'll do the first one. Be it resolved that the Board of Forest Grove School District hereby adopts the budget for the fiscal year 2023-24 in the total amount of $247,643,652. This budget is now on file at the Forest Grove School District located at 1728 Main Street in Forest Grove.
I will second it.
The vote on this, yes for me?
Yes, for me?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. We have the second.
Be it resolved that the amounts shown below are hereby appropriated from the fiscal year beginning July 1, 2023 for the following purpose.
I second.
Seconded, moved and seconded. Put it down there first.
Yes.
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 And yes for me as well. Okay. Okay,
Be it resolved that the following and relevant property taxes are hereby imposed on the assessed value of the taxable property within the district of the tax year 2023-2024. 1, at the rate of $4.91 per thousand assessed value. 2, in the amount of $12,155,606 for debt service on general obligation bonds. Be it resolved that the tax imposed are hereby categorized for purposes of Article 11, Section 11B, as subject to the education limitation permanent rate $4.91 per thousand, excluded from limitation general obligation bond debt services $12,155,666.
Kathy, do we need that whole,
I think that's 2 separate.
Is it 2 separate?
That only was from there's 3. Look at the last one.
Are you talking about the tax rate?
yeah,
4.9142 per thousand? Right. So,
Yeah, it could be together.
okay, so right, yeah, you got 4, okay.
oh, okay.
It's second.
Yes for me?
Yes.
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 Motion passes. Uh, let's see, item 2. No. Yeah. So, employee complaint appeal to the school board.
So I'll move that we delegate authority to the board chair to respond to the complaint in accordance with the board's discussion in executive session for this meeting.
Second.
Right, yes,
Yes.
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 great, thank you, superintendent evaluation letter, I'll read this letter, and then at the conclusion of the letter, there's a motion, to approve the letter. So, this is dated June 5, 2023, Superintendent Dave Parker. The school board has completed your evaluation for the 2022-2023 school year. As has been the case for each of your years with the district, we sought an outside firm to conduct and complete survey data gathered from the community, staff, board, and other stakeholders. As in the past, survey questions were aligned with the 9 OSBA standards and your approved goals for the school year. There were clear areas of strength in the school year: policy and governance, relations, resource management, ethical leadership, and labor relations stood out amongst all survey data. You continue to demonstrate outstanding skills in the areas of relationship and working with others. We are also pleased with your work in policy and governance and resource management. In addition, you have effectively implemented an aligned and coherent multi-tiered system of support district-wide, a critical goal of yours for this year. We feel very strongly that there are areas where immediate positive results must be shown moving forward. These are in the areas of effective management, curriculum planning and development, and critically instructional leadership. These are at the core of your work within the district. And these are challenging in terms of affecting change. In many ways, the status quo may need to be questioned as you evaluate next steps for this organization. The time for improvement is here. We have confidence that working closely with your administrative team and district staff, student academic and social emotional gains will be realized. Thank you for your continued commitment to the district and for your leadership. Respectfully, Eric Forsberg, who is there. So,
Thank you.
yeah.
So I will move to approve the superintendent's evaluation letter as presented.
So a vote.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, it's no. Thank you.
Thank you. I look forward to continuing the work that we've started this year as we try to kind of recover and get kids back to what they need to be. So I look forward to doing the work.
We really love having you. We're going.
Yeah.
We're going to change you to your desk.
Too much work to do.
Okay, item 4, the Great Body Shop K6 Health Curriculum Instructor.
Good evening. Before you tonight is an ask by the district administration to purchase the final year of the Great Body Shop curriculum. We've had it for the last 5 years, and during the 1920 school year, the board asked for a district survey of students, parents, and teachers, and the feedback was very positive. Teachers appreciate the flexibility that model provides in terms of curriculum materials in the brochure format, in English and in Spanish, and parents appreciate the transparency because those are sent home as consumable, where they can see exactly what their kids are being taught for and they can reinforce those comments that learning at home. So what we're asking is for one last additional year prior to ODE's new statewide health instructional materials adoption for a subscription cost of $27,466.
All right, question? No. Right, I'll move to approve the purchase of the Great Body Shop in the amount of $27,466 for 1 year.
I'll second
Okay, yes,
Yes.
it, yes.
Thank you.
thank you, John. Jelly, Eileen, Director of Finance.
So tonight we have for you the annual review of our fidelity insurance. Our fidelity insurance is insurance that protects the district against employee fraud or theft. We have $1 million worth of coverage, and the current policy for $1 million is $5,581 for next year. In talking with Alicia, our insurance rep, her other districts that she uses has between $250,000 and $1 million in insurance. So we're on the top end. If we wanted to get additional insurance, we would have to go out through a third party insurance. So this is the maximum amount that we can get through PACE. But as part of our audit, our annual audit, our auditors ask that we have the conversation with you and ask you to see what your comfort level is, if you're good with $1 million, or if you would like us to look at more or less for that, this opportunity, right?
So this is the high end of the district now.
Yeah.
And didn't we raise this?
We did raise it up to $1 million 3 or 4 years ago,
Yeah.
5 years.
I think $1 million.
So, what happens if, someone tries to tap into, I forget the term, tap into, what do you call that?
Investments.
Embezzle, but, you know, outsiders, cyber, yeah.
We do have a separate policy for cyber.
Oh, okay.
Yes. And we actually, we have PACE's insurance for cyber, and we have a third party, with Cowbell, an additional layer of security with that, just because of the level of risk there is there.
Okay.
So, yeah, I move to approve the district's fidelity insurance coverage limits for the 2023-24 fiscal year to maintain at $1 million.
Second,
Hold on a second. Everybody,
yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I'm a yes as well. Thanks. And we, let's see, we're in Echo Shaw Elementary School, HVAC.
So the next thing on the agenda tonight is the ESSER HVAC at Echo Shop. This will add, ductless mini split into each classroom. It will add air conditioning to the classrooms themselves, not the general space, but the classrooms. It'll improve air quality, create energy savings, and all of it will be tied into our existing control system. What we're looking at is a Omnia cooperative purchasing agreement. The base contract is $1,297,365. We do believe, well, electrical will be a change order in addition to that, and we believe that'll be about $400,000. We haven't gotten the final for that. So what we're asking tonight is to approve the combination of the base contract plus approximately $400,000 towards electrical. And all of this will be done with ESSER 2 funds this summer.
The contract's for bids.
This one, just because of timing, we're using a cooperative purchasing agreement, so they've already done the bidding process. And we're just tying on to one that's already been done.
So the units that are
The units on the wall.
in each classroom.
in each
That's all. That would be great. Okay.
we spending all of our ESSER money this year.
This will use up the rest of the ESSER 2 funds, and then we'll have next year for the ESSER 3 funds.
Okay, I move to approve the proposed contract with Train for the Echo Shot HVAC improvements for $1,697,365, including activated electrical.
Second,
Okay, yes,
Yes,
yes.
okay, thank you. Bond Safety and Security Contractor RFP award.
The last one for me tonight.
Okay,
we have the bond safety and security RFP. We went through the process over the last 3 months. We ended up interviewing 2 firms, Reese and Convergent, last month. And what this RFP is gonna do is for our bond project for safety and security, and they'll come in and they'll assess our systems, evaluate them, and then they'll present the recommendation of what they would suggest for us to do for, it'll be our access controls or camera systems. And then from there, we'll build the base contract and what we can do within our current budget with bond fund. So they are coming on board from the start to help us in building and developing that scope. And then they'll do the implementation of the changes. And this is with Convergent. We have $3 million in safety and security in the bond fund. Not all of it will be used on this contract, because we have other things that we have to look at, like the security film on the windows and just grounds updates and just different access points. So we have the safety and security committee that's been meeting. We started meeting back in January. And this is one component of the whole project,
Is there a reason why there isn't a dollar amount? I mean,
because I don't have scope yet.
okay.
We're hiring them to help us develop.
But once you got scope, you come up with a dollar amount. Okay, yeah.
And in the RFP process, we used price as one of the evaluation tools, because they came with us at hourly rates depending on what it was. So that was part of the evaluation and part of the scoring.
That makes sense.
So we have those prices fixed, but they are hourly rates.
Thank you.
I think are these for, remind me specific schools, or is it just an umbrella?
It'll be district wide.
Okay,
No,
an umbrella approach.
it will be.
Okay, so go ahead.
I'll move to award the district bond safety and security RFP that Convergent.
Second,
Yes. For me?
Yes.
Kate?
yes,
And Marcia?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, let's see, kindergarten iPad purchase. Enrique Pino.
This first action item before you is the district applied through the FCC Emergency Connectivity Program for devices for kinder. We had put in a request with the FCC to change them to the devices iPads that could submit a survey to kindergarten teachers. We just recently got our approval from the FCC, so this iPad purchase has already been approved as part of the budget for the school year, but we're continuing now to get our approval of the FCC and reimbursed. Because through this program, they reimburse the cost. So we recommend today that the board approve the purchase of the kindergarten iPads from Apple through the USAC ECS program.
All right, I move to approve the purchase of kindergarten iPad from Apple in the amount of $84,000.
Second.
Yes.
Yes.
yes,
Yes.
Okay, thank you. District server refresh purchase.
So the next item before you is the district server refresh. This is actually part of bond, safety and security. In order to support the upgrading of all the security systems, particularly the security camera system, we need to refresh our servers, which are going to host the video and all the software related to that. So we put out requests for quotes, and the winning vendor was SHI for Dell R760 servers. So we recommend that the board approve the purchase of the replacement servers from SHI.
I move that we approve the purchase of the replacement server from SHI in the amount of $108,000.
I second.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes,
Yes.
And one, couple more. Okay. District wireless access point refresh.
So the next item before you is the refresh of end of life wireless access system that exists in different schools throughout the district, mainly concerning high school NAND, although there are some smaller sites that will be incorporated into this plan. This was just recently approved as part of the budget for the 23-24 school year. And this was, we did submit an application through USAC, again, an FCC program for reimbursement. We have not yet received our approval yet for reimbursement, but we have to do forward that application, but we do need to make the purchase now in order to get things installed before the start of the next school year. The winning bidder from our application was CPE Technologies for $169,000. So our recommendation to the board is to approve the purchase of the E-rate Category 2 wireless access points from CPE Technologies.
I move to approve the purchase. I move to approve the purchase of E-rate Category 2 wireless access points from CPE Technology in the amount of $169,000.
Second.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Yes. All right. District network switch refreshing purchase.
So the next item for you is another technology refresh plan purchase. Again, this is another application through the SEC USAC program for district reimbursement of our costs. This is for the replacement of end-of-life network switches throughout the district. This was also one in terms of the application lowest bidder of CPE Technologies. So a recommendation to the board is to approve the purchase of the E-rate Category 2 Cisco Catalyst 9300 switches from CPE Technologies.
I move to approve the category Cisco Catalyst 9300 switches from CPE Technology in the amount of $151,000.
I second.
Based on that, yes.
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 And let's see, who won the Chromebook and here.
We started the school year at good time. Next one for you is the Chromebook repair services that the district uses. This past year, the school board already approved for the 22-23 school year using ChromeBookParts.com for the repair of our Chromebooks throughout the school year. We're coming to you again now to ask that you please approve ChromeBookParts.com again for this upcoming school year. We did look at the other vendors, same as last time, but ChromeBookParts.com came back with the best cost throughout the year. So our recommendation is the board approve the purchase of Chromebook repair services through ChromeBookParts.com, not to exceed $60,000 for the 23-24 school year.
So you take the Chromebooks that need to be repaired and send them to this company and they repair them?
Correct. And
Okay.
throughout the year, it just varies as they come in and we send them out and we don't really know the full cost before the year starts.
Mhm.
So this just allows up that feeling for the school year.
Thank you.
Okay. I move to approve the purchase of Chromebook repair to ChromeBookParts.com in the amount not to exceed $60,000 for the 23-24 school.
Second.
Yes.
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 And the Zipley phone service contract and
Laptop route. The next item before you is for district phone service. We currently have phone service through Zipley on the Frontier Communications. The board had already previously approved the contract that we had with Frontier Communications. We are still in the process of kind of reviewing our options for district phone solutions. So while we're still kind of reviewing our options and how best to move forward, we are requesting the board approve just extending for one more year the terms of our contracts that we have with it. So our request is that the board approves continuing district phone services in Zipley for the 2023-2024 school.
So it's the current contract. We're extending the current contract.
Correct. We have terms in the contract that allow us to extend them for a year.
Okay. So I move to approve the continuation of the district phone services with Zipley for the 2023-24 school year.
I second.
yes.
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 I'm sorry, I was a yes in my brain. I want to,
Thank you.
ask you a question. What percent, and you don't have to give me an answer now, but what percent of our general fund goes to technology?
I don't have a percentage, but I can certainly work in my.
Yeah, just email me, I'm curious.
I mean,
Oh, you got it in your fingertips? You can email me, okay?
Well, I think it's working more out with them.
So I am gonna opt out for obvious reasons.
Yeah.
And set it aside.
Community-based activity programs, feedback, on.
So we're requesting an amendment to the community-based activity program, CBAB contract, which expired August 4th, 2023, as the summer session. We're increasing our slots by 5 students for a total of 5 slots. There's an increase of $500 per student, which is $3,500 per student. So this would be an increase to the current contract of $42,500 and making a total summer cost of $192,500. And just as a note, CBAP has not increased the cost per student to the district for over 10 years. And with the increase in minimum wage over the last couple of years, the current inflation is at 10%.
I move that we approve the amended community-based activity program contract as presented.
Second.
Yes, from.
Yes, for me.
Yes.
Thank you. Okay, that is the conclusion of the action items.
yeah, last week, I think it was last week. Yeah, it was last time, right? I think it was last board meeting. We presented the strategic plan, and I went through kind of its evolution and all of that with you last time, so I'm not gonna kind of repeat that. We got the updated versions in your packet. There is a new inclusion of, we did do some work to kind of get some measures of success. Some of them are broad because of when we actually, like, when you look at the first one where we're talking about instruction, we talk about our key indicators. And in that, there's a whole bunch of different measures and stuff. So as you're looking through it, take a look, provide us feedback on kind of things, weaknesses. But those measures of success are meant to be kind of broad so that we can, as we do the action items, we can start to be more specific. But other than that, again, just a reminder, we had a committee, I mean, we've been working on this all year, but it's like a committee of 51 folks kind of, writing teams come together and kind of specialized in each of the areas to get at all of the different details, so. And then I'll take questions now, or again, at the next board meeting, it'll be up for action, so I can take more, and if you have questions, get them to me, so I can get them researched and get the answers to you. Okay, thank you.
I really like the pictures. of the baby plan. I think they're really sweet.
Yeah.
I know I make the comment, sorry.
It's important. I mean, I will say the group that we've been working with, and they brought a skill set with them, just in setting up the meetings. We've been meeting with them since August. So it's been a really good group, and feel like the process is a good one. I also feel like if we did this again, we would actually, we have a better understanding of that whole process now.
Okay, and the next one is school board meeting calendar.
In your packet, Kathy, you'll see a calendar that Kathy worked out for if we, the green is if we keep our school board meetings on the 2nd and the 4th. And then the purple is on the 1st and 3rd Monday. And so you can kind of see a little bit. I mean, there's some positives and some, well, it depends on where you're at. I'm not going to say negatives, but there some of the changes. There's a couple of different issues.
But do you want us just to review it and come back for discussion, or?
It will be a discussion. I mean, this is a future action item, so we need to come back on the 26th. We kind of need to set the calendar.
We'll set the calendar in July when Christy comes on board, but I just wanted them to have this conversation before we get there.
Right.
you have some comments on what?
I do.
Okay, go ahead.
Moving it to the first and third creates more Tuesday meetings. There's more Monday holidays. And so it creates a couple of situations where we're coming off of a holiday week where we're going to a board meeting. There's a little bit of an issue for me in the way there's more changes from the Monday. The other one that kind of gets me a little bit is that it moves back our budget deadlines because of when we need to have the budget reviews, which is a little problematic. Right now, most of our stuff is, from the different directors and such is due to Eileen before spring break. This would move it a week back, which is a little problematic. It's not the end of the world for us, but every week, right during that budget time, it's a little bit of a challenge for us. Those are my first kind of blushes at it.
No, I looked at it too. I do like what we currently do, and I understand. I think the reasoning is to allow folks to attend the city council meetings, and I understand that. I don't know if sort of coordinating. We do a work session once a month, and if we felt a compelling reason to need to be at a city council meeting, I think we could move work session around that if we had one, so that we could have our meeting. It would be two meetings in one, right? But I think we could do that if there were issues that the city council would want to do.
Or another thing, like this year with me, we moved the agenda items around so that I could be there for what I needed to be there. So if that's something we need to do too.
Can I?
Yes.
Okay, yeah, I just appreciate the opportunity to have the discussion. I asked about it on council a year ago for the reasons of council and people coming to the council meetings like Beverly actually not being able to come to school board meetings. There were multiple school board meetings where there were issues. So many now are overlapping with what council's working on as we're trying to really partner and work towards the rec program and issues around homelessness with kids, that it just felt you had to wait and then watch later on YouTube, and that's just didn't create an opportunity for people that maybe really wanted to be at one or the other. So I was thinking more from the community base, but selfishly, and one of my goals coming on the board is to kind of liaison with council more and have council be more aware. People on council, by nature of our council, don't really have kids in the school district. And although we do the biannual or annual meeting, there's other ways I think we can be creative of making sure that we have more communication like that, but that was the only thing. But I can appreciate the difficulties of what it means to the districts move. I was told because of state law, council was not able to change their meetings, which was our first. We looked at that first, so that school board wouldn't have to. So, but I just appreciate the chance to bring it up again and bring those reasons to light.
Thank you.
And oops, I forgot, also city employees like Shryman, multiple times when he was needing to be at school board for things, then was not able to really be at city for things, and then kind of vice versa. So that was another piece too. But it sounds like Brad, like when we needed to be there, you guys were able to be flexible with that.
Yeah, I guess I was thinking about the public, I was thinking about the work by the school board itself, but yeah, I understand. I think we had our school board meeting scheduled on Monday first, so didn't we? Yeah. And then city council moved it to Monday. I think I remember that.
Okay, let's see, where are we here? We have future board items for discussion. I don't know if there are any items that need to be changed. And lastly, the enrollment, the June 1, 2023 enrollment report was included in the packet. And the reports for May 2023 were included in the packet. There being no further business, the meeting is adjourned. We'll have the city